Hey TechKnowStuds! Now several times already we've gone over identifying different address types. We've gone through this scenario a few times, but we've changed the game again. When we're talking about custom subnet masks, now we're going to have to figure out what network address and what's a broadcast in the middle of ranges. So what we're going to do is we are going to go through this process, and one reason why I do this as we're going along is because I've seen test questions on certain certification tests, and you'll need to quickly be able to identify this even out there in the real world. So let's go ahead and take a look at some different scenarios and find out what type of address they are. So in this exercise, we're given an address. We need to tell it what class it's in, how many bits were borrowed, if it's a private address or RFC 1918, and what type of address it is, whether it's a broadcast address or a host address or a network address. So we can look at this first one. The first octet tells us it's a class A, which should be a /8. We see that it's a /16, so we've borrowed 8 bits with this. All right, is it a 1918? No, it's not a private address. All right, what type of address it is? Okay, if this is 16 bits is the network portion, then this last bit is the host portion. So we're gonna take a look at the host portion. Is it the first address of the range, which would be 0.0? No, it's not, that's the network address. Is it the last address in the range, which would be 255.255, the broadcast address? No, it's not. So this is going to be a host. All right, let's take a look at the next one. In this next one, it's a 201, so that is a class C. That means the first, by default, the first 3 octets, or the first 24 bits, is the network portion of it, but it specifies 28, so we've borrowed 4 bits. Is it a 1918? No, this is not a private address. All right, and now what type it is. So this is where it gets a little more tricky. So what I could do is the ANDing process to go through and AND this to figure out what the network address is, and I can figure out what the range of this address is. What I'm gonna do instead is I'm just gonna show you a little different method of doing this. I'm gonna type out our 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1, just as a reference here. And we are borrowing 4 bits, so I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where we draw the line. Now, if we were to imagine this, when we count up with this, it would start out with all zeros, and that would be the first network. The next network would be right here, and network addresses are all zeros, so these would all be zeros. So the next address would be 16, and the next address after that would be 32, and the next address after that would be 32 plus 16, which is 48. So we can figure out now what our networks are. And in this case right here, this is going to be a network address. So I'll put on here on types, network address. All right. If I wanted to figure out what the last address range of this one would be, I would just put all ones, right? So this is 16, 1, 1, 1, 1. And so if you add all that up, then that would be 31. So 31 would be the broadcast address for this range. All right, so go ahead and test this out. You can pause the video, go through all of these, see how well you do, and then we'll come back. You can hit play and see what the right answers are. Okay, and here are the answers. Go ahead and pause the video and see how close you came to the right answers. All right, hopefully you came close to the right solutions. This is one of our harder, I'd say one of our harder assignments that we've done up until now. So this, I'm not surprised if you need a little more work on this. Either way, if you do need some more work on this, make sure you tackle this and get this really down because it's going to help you as you move forward.